according to you as a writer, so when you write a story, you do think, sometimes we think of the characters alone. In the character, you'll think and write. But when you write a character for a lead, for a lead character, even the hero in mind when you write, do you think of only the characters, or sometimes, even though being a writer, sometimes the fan inside you, it will make you write for this hero. In the hero pana nalla irkume nu ungalku thonum.
You see, it's a commercial art. What you are writing is a commercial art. I'll give an example. Suppose a wife had beefed her husband. Suppose has got some sugar problem, right, BP problem. She'll be very careful in giving the diet.
Right.
Avanki rusi irukuma, that's a secondary thing. Rusi illa kuda idha saapanunga or health kaga or idikaga.
Right.
But suppose you go to a call girl, she's not bothered, is it healthy or not. Her immediate satisfaction of the customer is most important for her.
Right.
She doesn't give him a drink, she doesn't give him an non-vegetarian, she's going to put lots of ghee.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happens afterwards.
Right.
Her immediate aim is to get maximum money out of him. Movie is like the second thing.
Okay.
Movie is like the second thing. Our first responsibility is for the producer, is putting the money, crores and crores in it.
Right, sir.
Our first responsibility is to the producer that he should get back his money.
That's a fantastic.
And incidentally, we should not write bad stories. We should not write anything that is going to spoil the society.
Right.
So our first and foremost duty is to write a commercial hit movie, because we get good money. Suppose I write a novel, I write a story to the magazine. What is it they pay? Thousands, right, not lakhs. For a movie, they're paying lakhs and crores. So it's first and foremost responsibility that the producer, the buyer, distributors, everybody should be happy. And whatever as a story writer I can contribute, I must contribute.
Speaking about Tamil film directors, what made you choose Mersal, like Atlee, as your first director to work with in Tamil? Like
it's not a question of my choosing. It's a question that Atlee has approached me.
Right.
Before he approached me, I have seen his movies, both of them very good movies. And then he asked me, sir, I have an idea, let's develop it. He told me very interesting setup. So I did my best, I wrote the screenplay.
So Vijay being one of the biggest superstars in Tamil cinema, and Mersal, like, it is the talk of the town right now.
Yeah.
So how can we expect the fans about Vijay's mass dialogues?
They should be very satisfying for the audience and the fans. I mean, because there are so many potential situations are there in the movie. Unless the situation is warranted, a dialogue looks hollow. A mass dialogue appeals very well to the audience when there is emotion in it. So there's so much emotional quotient is in the movie. People are bound to clap.
Ninga, you have made movies like Vikramagudu, Sai. There is a small talk that you're doing sequels to all these movies. Or how far?
No.
Is it true? Or would you be interested in doing sequels to all these?
Actually, I am writing a sequel for Vikramagudu in Hindi.
Okay.
And I am writing a sequel for Madhulavan.
So is it for
we can't exactly call sequel. I mean, it can be said 2. Madhulavan 2.
Is it for Shankar sir?
No. Of course, we would love to Shankar sir directs it. But right, just now, right now, I am writing the story.
Nice. That was like one question I had in mind. If Shankar sir approaches you for a story, would you be like happy to work with him?
What a question it is. I will approach Shankar sir with folded hands. Sir, please listen the story. I have to narrate it.
That's wonderful. So we are like waiting for that day, because we can see like two big forces together, yes, like master storytellers. It will be like a great combination. So there is this one question that as a writer I wanted to ask you. So like I want you to motivate future writers who write feature film scripts. You have always been a big motivation factor. So when someone gets one idea, do they travel into the idea to make it like a story? How is the process in which you research when you get an idea?
First of all, for any writer, it is important for him to have an extensive knowledge of the literature, the current things that are happening in the world. Right. That's the most important thing. You should have a library, you should have an inbuilt library in his mind, so that when you ask something, automatically subconscious mind picks up from all the available information. This is the first thing. Second thing is, for heaven's sake, don't see any movie, sit and start writing from it. No, don't do it. Never, never, never copy. You see, I will tell you this like this thing. Suppose I'm a thief. Then the easiest thing for me is to pick the pockets.
Right.
The moment I see from the pocket, it's good. That's how I say. Then the creativity is dead. The moment you are seeing, especially because of the internet, everything is so accessible. You see the movies to increase your knowledge,
Right.
not to steal from it.
Exactly. So.
When once you condition your mind for stealing, you will stop creating.
Right.
Your originality is dead. Imbibe the emotion in the movie, but don't take anything out of the movie. The mind is such a huge thing. It has got a huge capacity. After all, everything, any great person who has written, Vairamuthu has written thousands of songs, Varsa has written thousands of songs, Kanadas thousands of songs, from where they have created, not copying.
Right.
It's a creation in the mind. All the big directors, from where they are creating, from the mind itself. Mind has got immense capacity. Only thing, you should put pressure on it. Make it work like a donkey, make it work like a horse. It will create.
There has been this huge comparison between Baahubali 2 and Dangal, doing great across the globe. So, and Baahubali 2 is like gearing up for a release in China right now. What do you think is going to be the result, sir?
Somehow, I don't think Baahubali 2 will do a good business in China, because they are used to those costume dramas. They have got beautiful costume dramas for themselves. But what Dangal, that's what I assessed, what I came to know is the woman lib in the Dangal. How a woman took the torch of the house. How she made father's ambition fulfilled.
Right.
That struck a chord in their hearts. That is the reason for the extraordinary success of Dangal, which we must cheer, because after all said and done, it's an Indian movie.
We have Mahabharatam and Ramayana. Like every character in these epic stories or mythological stories we have, the characters in Baahubali have left a mark on every single character, has made a significant mark. So what is your feel on this?
The observation what it is very near to what has happened, because not only me, from our childhood we are imbibed the stories of Mahabharata and Ramayana.
Right.
So natural those characters are reflected in the characters we have created in Baahubali. I mean, actually you can see the shades of them. Like suppose in Shivagami's character, there is a shade of Kaikeyi.
Right.
In Bijaldeva character, there is a shade of Sakuni. And in Ballaldeva character, there is a shade of Duryodhan. And Baahubali character, there are shades of Bhim, Arjun.
When we look into it very detailed, we do notice these characteristic traits. But apart from this, I think there is some special thing to this characters that made it land up like in the Wax Museum in London. So I think that is like something very unique. What's your take on that?
It's a very happy thing that has happened. Of course, when you write anything, you don't foresee all these things, you don't expect all these things.
Right.
The basic thing what we do is, we start, not only me, every writer should start loving the character.
Right.
Unless they love the character, they cannot develop it. Unless they empathize with the character, they must become the character. See, what all the characters I have created, they are all created by me. So in me, there is a Shivagami, there is a Baahubali, there is a Ballaldeva, there is a Bijaldeva, there is a Kattappa.
Right.
They are all the shades of the same personality. Unless you have them in you, you can't create them.
And one question, sir. So when you go about writing something, when you start writing something, do you think of the idea and start writing it? Think of idea as in, do you think for a long time before you start the writing process?
No, I can tell you, it is not in any singular direction. It can happen in several ways. One day in Chennai, I was watching Montram Perai. In the end, Sridevi remembers about past, forgets what has happened. And she just goes away in the train with her parents, and Kamal Hassan is left like a poor guy trying to bring recollections to her.
Right.
So both of us, me and I had one assistant Ganesh, Amma Ganesh, we were seeing the movie. I said, Ganesh, it's like, somebody piercing a crowbar in the heart.
Right.
Amma sir, Amanga sir. Then I said, Ganesh, suppose this is the interval. This is the interval. எப்படி இருக்கும் படம்? நல்லா இருக்கும் சார். பண்ணலாமா ஸ்டோரி? பண்ணலாமா சார்? ஆனால் உண்மையிலே ஆறில் குத்தணும் சார் அந்த பொண்ணுன்னு சொன்னோம்.
Okay.
I said, what the hell you are talking? If the girl stabs a person in the heart, how the hell you are going to justify? And what I'm story after? எனக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியாது சார். ஆறில் குத்தணும் சார். ஆறில் குத்தணும். பிடிவாதம் பண்ணிட்டோம்.
Okay, sir.
So how I could justify it? Then I started making a story. New story has come. So that's one way that has happened. For example, Baahubali is in a different pattern. My son asked me, Papa, I want to make a movie with Baahubali. Sorry, with Prabhas as a hero.
Right.
I want a costume drama. I want strong female characters. I want some grey characters. Then I started designing one by one character. First I told him about Kattappa.
Okay.
Then I told the mother who carried her son in the water. Some more incident. You like the instance? Then said, let us weave a story around all the characters.
Right.
This one way the story has developed. So there is no particular way a story can develop. It can be in any way.
There is always this comparison between Tamil cinema and Telugu cinema stories. Like they say Tamil audience na they like idu mari kada pidikum. Telugu audience na avanga mindset ipdi irukonu solittu. Do you think this comparison is healthy, sir?
I mean, the question comes to healthy or not when you try to denigrate other story.
Right.
You see, in Tamil Nadu, they ellaru waste poduvanga. In Telugu, people they use it this dhoti.
Ah, sir.
That's their custom. This is their custom. Similarly, because of the upbringing, because of the language and culture, such stories are being like better. Such stories, not all stories. Right. There are several stories which both Tamils and Telugu people like also. But because of the prevailing circumstances, certain type of stories are liked by Tamil people, certain type by Telugu people.
Right.
I mean, there is absolutely no contrast or no nothing which is good or which is bad like this thing.